So, because of the release of the Team of the Group stage Kane SBC, there's a really good investing opportunity to go all in on if you're patient enough to wait. So, just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch for the cheapest trading guides out there for just £4, €4, all free. With Amazon Prime, you'll receive daily trading and investing guides covering PlayStation, Xbox and PC with an array of methods covering all budgets. And I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million in multiple different FIFAs, and now for the last 4 years I've made 10 million coins in just the first month. So yesterday we went and got this really good value for money Kane SBC that is generally only about 90k more than the most recent Inform, and Kane is a very popular player. Now we can see this SBC is really popular because of how much it's dropped his previous Inform cards and how much it's risen Bundesliga link investments. But because of that, it's now allowed his previous cards to become really good value for money for literally SBCs. So for example, if we go look at the likes of Kane, we got his second Inform right here, coming in at only 82k, and we got his first Inform coming in here at 71k. Now, we could have previously got a 91 rated Informs to 71k because Lewandowski's basically been that all week. But now he's been added to that pile of players that are really nice investments. Now, they are investments for top-end SBCs, but top-end SBCs have started to come out and they've really started to move fodder, especially Inform fodder. If you remember last year, we got ourselves a Kane World Cup Heroes SBC during the World Cup promo. So what I'm thinking is we'll potentially get ourselves a Champions League Hero SBC during the Champions League promo. And if you remember, the Kane SBC last year was 1 million. So the SBC for if we do go and get ourselves a Champions League Hero card could again be yet another expensive SBC. So let's go and show you guys what happened to Informs yesterday when they're needed for the likes of the Eusebio SBC. We see Renard went from 58 to 69k. We can see that Dybala went from 50k all the way up there to 61k. We can see that Herberg went from 59k all the way there to 66k. We can see that Trippier, even again slightly lower rated fodder, went from 42k and he's up to 50k. And that is all she wrote. So we can see that the high rated fodder is doing really well. But someone like Lewandowski didn't rise yesterday. Now, we don't know if he didn't rise because he's too high rated, although I've actually done a little bit of testing. And these 91s and 92s can actually make the 88 rated squad. Just the thing that I think kind of occurred is Lewandowski was also kind of part of the cards that were affected by the Kane SBC. Obviously, Kane and Lewandowski's cards are very one-for-one. They're very interchangeable. We're talking very high-shooting, low-pace sort of players. So what I think is Lewandowski could have potentially been harmed a little bit. I mean, we could probably see this by looking at this card. Because he would have been being replaced by the likes of Kane. Yeah, I mean, we can see right here, he went from 430k, he's down at 370. This shows that people were replacing Lewandowski with the likes of Kane. So there could have been reason for that to be selling rather than reasons for that to be buying. So any squad basically that requires an 88 rated squad and above and an Inform will be will rise the likes of Lewandowski and Inform Kanes. But then on top of that, what's also happening is squads that are requiring 89 rateds are also using the 91s. So they're using the likes of Haaland. Haaland's coming here at 67.5, which I believe is only 3k cheaper than what these Informs are going for. Yeah, we can see right there, it's literally only 3k cheaper than the likes of Inform Kane. So what that means is if Haaland can rise another 3-4k, anything that any 91 will rise, so will Inform Lewandowski and Inform Kane. So the good thing is obviously they're offering that Inform utility, which we've seen as of recently is quite rare, which is why when they were required for the Eusebio, they went really high. But on top of that, they're really not far off becoming SBC fodder. In fact, I'm very surprised that the 92 Kane isn't becoming SBC fodder yet. And the reason for that is the difference between a 90 to a 91 is obviously 17k. Well, the difference between a 91 to a 92 is only coming in at, I believe, about 14-15k, which means they should come in live with SBC fodder. And therefore, again, if EA keep requiring 88 plus squads, and especially 89 squads, then we should start seeing 92 fodder starting to become a good value for money play. Now, there are a few things that could have gone in the favour, which didn't really go in favour. One of those being how long the SBC has on it. Now, if an SBC only has like 5-6 days, it means as soon as that SBC is over, people can go and buy, you know, the players back, because of course people can't do the SBC, so they have to go and buy the old Inform cards. Sadly, this SBC has 13 days on it, and because it's got 13 days on it, it's not like it's going to expire anytime soon and people are going to be buying back anytime soon. One thing that I say could go in favour is if low-rated fodder does start, and even high-rated fodder, does start rising a bit more over the weekend, what we'll see is we'll see a bit of a POTM Son complex. So what is a POTM Son complex? Well, this is basically when Son first came out, this SBC was only 700k. But eventually what happened is Fodder became more and more expensive to the point where it got up to 1.1 million. So it didn't quite double, but you know, basically another third was added to the price of the SBC. Well, because this SBC became more and more expensive, what allowed to happen to the First Inform is the First Inform rebounded really well. Because the POTM started becoming so bad value for money, people just went back to buy the old Inform. Now, there's a much lower chance that occurring with the likes of Kane, but what could happen is if we do get really good SBCs over the weekend, for the likes of maybe Heroes, for the Icon SBCs, for maybe Upgrade SBCs, what that'll do is that'll rise the 84 rated Fodder, that'll rise the 87 rated Fodder, and what will happen is the team of the group stage will look less, won't look as good, because traditionally Fodder is the cheapest on the weekend, and then will rise through the week, making the game the Kane less value for money, increasing the incentive to go and buy the old special cards of him. So that's one thing, but again, that isn't really a main driving factor on why we're buying the first and second Inform. Now, another thing that works really well in the favour of the super high rated Informs, which is potentially one of the reasons why the old Informs did really well yesterday for the likes of Eusebio, is that this current team of the week has no high rated Informs. The highest rated Inform is 86. So anything higher than an 86, which is, you know, why I was showing you the examples of 87 pluses yesterday, have done really well because there's no increase in supply, but there is an increase in demand every time we need an 88 plus rated squad with a team of the week. So when are we going to look to sell the likes of First Inform Kane and Second Inform Kane? Well, in reality, you just need there to be a trigger point of them rising. As I say, there's two anticipated trigger points at the moment, one being the Icon SBC on the Sunday, and the second being the Mbappe POTM on the Tuesday or Wednesday. If not, it may just be they hold for another week or two and hope for more bigger Icon SBCs. I mean, if they've dropped Eusebio and Zidane in the last, basically, week, well, you know, we can show that EA are scaling up their SBCs, and as a result, the demand for these sort of super high-rated players only seems to be higher chances than what we would have seen maybe a month ago. So the reality is if they're not needed for the Mbappe and they're not needed for the Icon SBC, it is just a holding game. It's very unlikely that super high-rated fodder crashes anytime soon because of all these SBCs being out for about a month, which means, you know, it doesn't allow the floor of fodder to drop to a certain point because people are just consistently putting them into Eusebio, into the Mbappe, into the likes of Zidane. So, as I say, they should be very safe in terms of not crashing anytime soon. But that wraps it up, I'd say. I always get a lot of people asking me what sort of investments can I make and then come back in about 2-3 weeks. Well, this is your prime sort of investment. You know, I'd be very surprised in 2-3 weeks if we see, unless we see loads of 91 rated discard team of the weeks in the team of the week, it's very unlikely that there's going to be a heavy increase in supply in the next few weeks, whereas there's a much higher chance of there being an increase in demand. So, that is going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.